Praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS rule well. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I couldn't really do no videos because my computer had a problem with it. All praises to the Most High. I had to take it to the Apple store because the trackpad wasn't working, the keys weren't working, and the battery wasn't working. No, not the battery wasn't working. It was just the keys that were missing. And the trackpad wasn't working. But all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He basically just put the spirit on the man. To basically do me a deal because it actually cost like $450 to fix it. And I'm not saying my ways please the Lord. I don't really like being like exhorting myself, but let's get that scripture. When a man's ways please the Lord. Because before I wasn't even able to type, man. But all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Like my thing's working now. This is Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Now I went to the Apple store, and he was eating he was a cool dude, because even the scriptures say to be peaceable unto all men, if possible. And he basically said, yeah, your thing is out of warranty, because I was like a month out, to get it fixed for free, the keypads which needed work. But he said, what I'll do, because I've had it for 5 years, he said, if your battery is not working or it fails a battery test or whatever, I can change the battery for you, which will cost $199. But they to be able to access the battery, they need to basically take out the keypads, just because of how they designed it. Because Esau is a demon, so you can't even fix these laptops yourself, or you can, but they're very difficult. You can't just slot things in and out. You have to take things off, they're riveted in and all this kind of stuff, so you have to know what you're doing. I didn't really want to mess around with it like that. So he said, yeah, we'll fix the battery for you, cost $199, but we'll end up doing the keys, because the battery is in front of the keys, or how it is, you have to take out the keys or the keypad to be able to access it. So yeah, he did it for me. And he even fits a trackpad, because even before I took it in, the trackpad wasn't working, it wasn't clicking. But because they had to take out the whole front, they even replaced it. It looks all nice for $199. They replaced the battery, did the key, and did the trackpad. And anyone that has dealings with Apple know they charge you an arm and a leg for this kind of stuff. So I got a sweet deal. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And I saw this a while ago, and it really made me think as to what this faith is about. Because I even saw I was watching the elder Aramlab on the bus, and some Jake, he was like, what are you watching? And we started talking about it. He was Christian, and it just goes to show you, how blessed, we all are. I like to think I'm very blessed to be able to have this truth, because I was talking to the dude, and it's like it's like he had the zeal, as it says, have the zeal according to the Most High, but not according to knowledge. He had the zeal of the Most High. He was Christian or whatever, but he just wasn't getting it. Believed in heaven and hell. And even before I came into the truth, heaven and hell never quite sat right with me, because I always used to think, you live for 50, 60 years, and then you go to heaven. Not even you go to hell when you burn forever. Like, a righteous power. I wouldn't want to say what the Most High should or shouldn't do, but that doesn't seem right to me. And my ways are heathenistic to the Heavenly Father. As it says, basically I can't comprehend the Most High's ways. But that doesn't make any sense. And then when you try to reason with Jake, and you talk about Samuel coming from the grave when Saul went to the seer to draw him out, and he said, you will be with me this very night, or you'll be with me soon. Jake will still turn around and think there's a heaven, even though John the Baptist, they said they thought he was Elijah come back, reincarnated. But Jake don't read the scriptures. You know, Jake will talk all this Christian stuff, and I was really trying to give him like a crash course in the scriptures, but I could just tell it was too much for him. You know, because like you have to be a man to be able to deal with the truth. A lot of people in this world, they're not really. They're like, the men are like women. You know, even today, I was at work and some dude, he was just doing some funny stuff. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people? You know, like, why do you do this? It's like, the world is meant to be a machine, and everything is a cog. So when one cog is out, it affects the whole machine, and people don't actually understand this. Even my boss come up to me and he was like, thank you. And I was like, what are you thanking me for? It was like, just for being you. You know, and I was like, what the hell? It was like, yeah, do you know what? Like, honestly, thank you. I don't know whether or not he thought I wanted to leave because I asked him for a reference. And, you know, as I said, when a man's ways please the Lord, he was like, you know, he's punctual, he's very work orientated. Now, I don't give a crap about Esau's kingdom, but when I'm at work, I do my job. And this just goes into what I heard this, let's say, Gucci Mane say.
If you take a job, do the job. Do it with effort. Don't take no job and then you don't feel like you want to go to work. Don't work there. Just be self-aware, man. That's what I be telling everybody. Push yourself to be super self-aware. Be honest with yourself. Be brutally honest with yourself. Don't put no cap. Don't even put no slang. I don't even like the cap word. I don't know why I'm saying it. It's like, just be honest with yourself. You got to be responsible, man. Don't do nothing you can't. Don't commit to nothing that you ain't gonna be responsible for. If you take a job, do the job. Do it with effort. Don't take no job.
And you know, even though Gucci's a demon, he got face tattoos. I wholeheartedly agree with him, man. A lot of people like to do a job and not do it to the best of their ability. You know, at the end of the day, you chose to do a job. So if you don't want to do it, go somewhere else because somebody will do your job better than you. And especially when it comes to the scriptures, you know, if you're in this faith, you have to put your best foot forward. You know, I'm not on the highways and byways. You know, I pray the Lord put the spirit on me if that's my lot to go out and do it. But you know, I can't deal with Jake, man. You know, I still have to work on myself. Certain times when I talk to Jake, I want to slap Jake. I just have to walk away from him. But you know, if whether or not is my lot to go out there or not, at the end of the day, you know, it's of the Lord. And if I don't and I'm punished for it, I have to take my punishment. You know, and I'll go into Matthew 25:26 here. His Lord said unto him, I'm going to start at 23. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord. Then he which had received the 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man, and hard man reaping where thou hast not sown. So the Lord will grow a branch where he's not even put a seed there. You know, that's the power of the Lord. And gathering where thou hast not strawed. So we're talking about Yahweh here. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou hast that is thine. And I say that because, you know, the Lord has given the talents unto Yahweh to give out, you know. His Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. That thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own usury. You know, so at least you can at least follow the laws and try to speak the gospel to as much people who are willing to listen as possible. You know, you didn't even do the basic requirements. Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which have 10 talents. For unto everyone that have shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he have. You know, so regardless of what goes on, I try to read the scriptures. You know, even if I'm mad tired from work because my job is physically exhausting. You know, I'll try to at least read, you know, a verse a day. You know, the other day, you know, I put all praise to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I actually flopped. I didn't. I actually opened a book, but I was so tired I couldn't even concentrate. So even if I read it, it wouldn't have gone in. You know, I started to read it, but you know, I listened to some lessons. You know, and that's kind of like the spirit like we have to be in, because at the end of the day, if you're not constantly like exercising your spirit, you know, you're gonna lose your spiritual muscle. It's like going to the gym. You go to the gym like every day or every other day, and you have to exercise to maintain what you have. Otherwise, you lose what you have. Proverbs 4:7. Turn not to the. I'm gonna start at 24. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and yeah, I looked up froward. I know what it is, but I just looked up anyway. Stubbornly contrary and disobedient, obstinate, turned away, turned from, opposing to face, and perversely inclined, willful. So this world is willful, refractory, disobedient, is willful in how it just completely goes against the Most High's laws, and they think they know what they're talking about even when they don't. You know, that Jake I was speaking to the other day, you know, to his credit, you know, he was listening, you know, but I could see there was some things he was struggling with. You know, he wasn't, and not to say I'm this great dude, but just comparing him from how I came into the faith, you know, when brothers were saying certain things, you know, it kind of took me, but I was like, you know, this sounds right. This, even though it's harsh, it's correct. Like the dude I spoke to today at work, he like he wasn't doing his job well to the point where now his job is affecting me. And when I said something to him, it's like I was waiting for him to say something, but he knew that what he did was wrong. So it's like he couldn't even say nothing to me. And even some people, you know, at the job, they'll be like, you know, I like the fact that you say things that nobody else says, you know. And even when you don't say it, it's obvious that you feel a certain way about things when people don't do things properly. Even one of the people that worked there, they said, you know what, you're the only person who works here who does that, because it then makes my job easier. Because a lot of people don't actually really care about other people, you know. And when you come into this faith, you know what love is. You know, love is abiding by the Most High's laws. And when you do that, you actually care about things around you, because you realize, you know, this world is the most high. It's the Most High. So if this world is the Most High and you love the Most High, you're gonna treat the world with a certain level of respect. You're gonna treat his creations with a certain level of respect. And people don't really have the love of the Father, and it's obvious in how they treat each other. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Ponder the path of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Turn not to the right hand, nor to the left. Remove thy foot from evil. And this goes into, you know, being lazy. Because when you're hard working, you know, you're very focused. You don't turn to the left or to the right. I even see people at work, and not like I'm angry at work, I'm just using it, you know, to draw analogies. I see people at work that can go and do things, but instead of doing what they're supposed to do to make somebody's job easier, they're sitting there talking. But then they'll complain when other people don't do their job, and it makes their job more difficult. But you're doing things that makes their job difficult, but you're complaining about them when they make your job more difficult. So it shows you that people of this world are very hypocritical, because the love of the Father is not really in them. So they're not able to be honest with themselves and see the hypocrisy in themselves. You know, like the dude said, you have to be honest with yourself. You know, I mess up all the time. If somebody comes up to me and says, you know, you've made a mistake, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna apologize for it. You know, even the dude, he did something and he you know, it fell over, and I helped him do it, and he didn't even thank me. You know, even if I'm mad with somebody at work and they do something for me, I thank them. So it just shows you how like just being in the Word just puts you in a certain mind frame that is completely opposed to people in the world. This is Luke 9:62. And Yahushua said to him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. I'm gonna start at 59. And he said unto him, follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me not to go and bury my father. You know, so at the end of the day, this is your first love. You know, if you're doing your job, you can't then just leave your job to go look after your grandmother. You have to do your job. You know, I'm gonna have to get the scripture because I'm still capped at 15 minutes. This is Revelation 3:16. So then, because thou art lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I will spew thee out of my mouth. And what happens when you don't do your job properly? You get fired. You know, and that's what's gonna happen to these people, to the people of the world. They're gonna get fired. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS. Well, shalom to the hopeful elect.